Triple H, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, John Cena. These are the names missing from WrestleMania 37, but today, one person on this list is teasing a WWE WrestleMania 37 appearance. My name is Ango, and this is Destination Pro Wrestling. For more videos like this, all you gotta do is click that like button, click subscribe, and drop a comment below, and let me know what you guys think. And of course, if you guys didn't know, we do have a newsletter on this channel. It's a free mailing list where I'm going to hook you guys up with a ton of goodies. And you don't have to worry about spam or anything like that. And you can cancel anytime. But if you guys are interested, check out the link in the description. Now, with that being said, let's talk about this WrestleMania 37 card. Night 2 of WrestleMania 37 is just hours away. And WWE superstar, legend, I don't even know what you could call him at this point. John Cena is pretty much on the Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling, in my opinion. But he did post on Instagram a photo of WrestleMania 37. Now, in years past, John Cena has used social media to be very cryptic and tease appearances here and there. And many times, it's actually come to life. So now, hours away from WrestleMania 37, John Cena did in fact tease an appearance for WrestleMania 37. The real question is, do we think he's going to actually show up? Now, one of the biggest things with John Cena in WWE, if you guys didn't know, John Cena is working on a couple films, and due to quarantine rules between Canada and the United States, the likelihood of John Cena actually showing up is very unlikely. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. See, the thing is, with the quarantine laws, there are ways that you can travel between countries, but there's a lot of work that has to be done. Now, with WrestleMania 37 being in front of a crowd for the first time in over a year, it wouldn't be necessarily shocking if John Cena did, in fact, return to WWE for one night. Now, with that being said, how would John Cena get introduced to the WWE Universe for the first time in over a year? This is where I'm really left speechless. I really don't know. I don't know if there's really a spot for John Cena on this card. And after watching night 1 of WrestleMania 37, I'm not even sure if John Cena needs to even appear tonight at WrestleMania 37. But it definitely got me excited because John Cena is definitely somebody who the fans would love to see, especially after, WrestleMania 36, it was John Cena versus the Fiend. It was a cinematic match, no fans in attendance. This is when COVID first kicked off. Things were really depressing at that time, so of course fans, I think, would love to see John Cena. Unfortunately, I just don't think we're going to see it happen. Now, with that being said, if it does happen, kudos to John Cena and WWE for pulling it off because, of course, with the travel restrictions right now, it is not very easy, especially when you have to quarantine for like 14 days once you leave the country and return. So, can John Cena really pull this off? That's the real question. And where would John Cena be placed on the card? Guys, I thought of something very unique. I can't remember which WrestleMania it was, but everybody remembers Eric Rowan versus The Rock, right? The Rock made a surprise appearance, had a very quick impromptu match with Eric Rowan. If there is the ability to pull this off, I think WWE would have to put themselves in that situation again. John Cena getting a very quick rubber match, maybe against a guy like Elias. Who knows? It just has to be somebody. It would be really cool. I think even if it's not technically an official match, I think fans would be really happy just to see that somebody gets hit with an attitude adjustment. But of course, like I said, there's just so many legal ramifications from all this COVID stuff. It's very unlikely it's going to happen. But John Cena teasing it makes people think that there is a chance. And as a fan, I think it would be great because WrestleMania 37 could go down as one of the best WrestleManias in a very, very long time. And I'm not the only person saying this. I'm not the only content creator or YouTuber talking about this. I genuinely think with the way WWE has been lately, the build has been very lackluster, but WrestleMania 37 night 1 was really good. And I personally think there are better matches on night 2. Hopefully the Storms don't get the show canceled or postponed because obviously that could be an issue. And if the show did get canceled, then any chance of John Cena showing up could very well place some problems for him. So altogether, it's a very, very interesting scenario, but I'm very intrigued to see what happens. But yeah, I think Elias being the one to go face-to-face with John Cena just makes some sense. There's been a little bit of back and forth with them in the past. I think whoever is in that position, if John Cena were to show up, I think they definitely get a good rub out of that. But John Cena is on my Mount Rushmore, man. Like, I think this guy has done so much for WWE and so much for pro wrestling. I think, it's crazy. Back in the day, we used to hate on John Cena. We used to hate on the fact that he was pushed down our throats, and we used to hate the idea of this guy constantly winning the world championship. But looking back in hindsight, WrestleMania 37 could definitely use a little bit of John Cena somewhere on the card, somewhere on the show. And that's kind of, we got to the point where we didn't like this guy, but now we respect the guy. And from a fan's perspective, I think having John Cena would be best for business, especially because WWE is so big. They don't really even have to advertise John Cena. It's a surprise element that definitely works and definitely is intriguing. Now, if John Cena doesn't return, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fans on social media unhappy, especially the ones who follow John Cena on Instagram, because, of course, with him on Instagram teasing WrestleMania 37 stuff, it definitely gets people's hopes up. And for those who don't follow along with like the travel restrictions and COVID and stuff like that, they don't know that John Cena's filming. If they're not keeping up with that kind of stuff, they don't know that the probability is very low. But just because the probability is low doesn't mean it's impossible. And that's why I think this is very cool. There's a few times where I think people have teased things in the past and it's got people excited and it's definitely let them down. I don't think this is one of those situations, because if Cena doesn't show up, I think it's very understandable as to why. But of course, no Triple H, no Undertaker, no Brock Lesnar, no John Cena. WWE is relying on a new crop of talent. Roman Reigns, obviously Bianca Belair, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley. The ball is in the hands of other people at this point, and the ball being in these individuals' hands will definitely show whether these guys are ready to carry the company going forward. Big E, New Day, AJ, Amos, like Bad Bunny, Damian Priest. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that was exciting about WrestleMania 37. Now we have Apollo Crews, Sheamus, Matt Riddle. Obviously the women's tag team match. There's a lot going on with WrestleMania. If these guys can hold it down without John Cena, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, and Undertaker, that's pretty impressive, especially because, like I said earlier in the video, this could be one of my favorite WrestleManias in a very, very long time. And it might go down as one of the best WrestleManias in a long time. And you may not agree, you may agree, but ultimately the reason why I say this is because WWE is in a situation with a pandemic that nobody predicted a year ago. So WWE being able to pull this stuff off is just really good. And it seems like the fans, regardless of the weather, continue to love WrestleMania. So ultimately, I want to know what you guys think. WWE WrestleMania 37, night 2 is just a few hours away. John Cena is teasing it. I don't know. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I want to know what you guys think. So, of course, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And don't forget, like I said, the newsletter. Over like 200-300 people have joined at this point. It's been a ridiculously fast-growing newsletter, especially with a channel my size and everything like that, those circumstances. So, for those who are tuning in, drop your predictions before WrestleMania 37, because I'm giving out some prizes tonight immediately after the show. So, if you guys aren't signed up for the newsletter, definitely check that out. Guys, my name is Ango. Thank you so much for watching. For new videos like this, make sure you guys subscribe and tell me what you want to see in the comment section below. I'll see you next time.